Hello and welcome to Fifth and Grace. Today is our November love and romance reading. We're going to see what's in the cards. And today I think we're going to do, actually I know we're going to do 3 cards. So it'll be a pick a card situation. You can pick all of them. I'm good with that. There's no rules here around what cards we want speaking to us. Believe me, when I read for myself, I will discard all the cards I don't like and only read the positive things for me. So, which is what I always say, never trust anybody who can read for themselves, because it is so hard to be objective and unbiased and unemotional that you will make anything mean anything to suit whatever you need it to suit. So, this is going to be our love reading. It is cuffing season. Woohoo! And I remember when I was single, it was around this time of year that I would start to think, I better work on finding someone to kiss on New Year's Eve. Otherwise I'll be all by myself. And I've always had this weird little superstition that there's this great saying in Scotland, start as you mean to go on. And I've always taken New Year's Eve. I'm not a big New Year's Eve fan because I prefer other things like Samhain and Halloween and things like that. Like there's other New Year's like April 1st, September, like there's so many other New Years in the year that for me are more impactful and more meaningful to me. Whereas the Gregorian or Roman calendar, whatever we call it, of January 1st being the new year, it just doesn't feel like anything to me that much. And I know there's a lot of people who feel the same way. If that's how you feel, let me know in the comments. And if you feel different, let me know too. I want to hear are there other New Years that are marked throughout the year, the calendar year, that you honor that are more meaningful to you? And if not, or is it January 1st for you? That's it. That's the new year. So I always wanted to make sure I had a man on New Year's Eve. Because I felt like if I didn't, then I would go through the next year alone again. So that was my little superstition. I don't know. I don't necessarily feel that way now. But of course I've been married a long time. So, usually I'm tucked in bed, sound asleep when the ball drops and the bells ring. So, but I wanted to talk a little tiny bit first about, a little event I went to. There was like 100 women, I think. And it was, the theme was practical magic, and it was the most gorgeous event. We did all kinds of things. There was a photo booth, and I went with my friend Caitlin. I had bought a ticket, and the event had to be postponed. And so we were given options. Do we want our money back? Do we want to have a credit for any other event? Or do we want to hang tight for this event when they redo it? And I said, I'm going to hold out for this event. So I think it was supposed to be in September, and it ended up being November 1st, which actually worked out so perfectly because we were still in the energy of Samhain. We were in All Saints Day leading up to Day of the Dead. It was really, really fantastic energy for this kind of event. So I went with my friend Caitlin. They had a photo booth. We also got to choose an oracle card. This is the Samhain oracle. I can't remember what the deck is called. It's the Witch's Oracle, I think. And there's a Samhain one. There's a Yule one, which I'll bring out in December. And there might be, oh my gosh, I can't remember all of them. There's a few of them based on the wheel of the year, the Witch's Wheel of the Year. And so this was the card I got, Graveyard. There is a song that bellows in the peace of knowing and no end, in acknowledging the crossroads of eternity. And there's a whole big meaning to that. I actually have this deck. So I've got the book, so I'll be able to look that up for myself. So that was super fun. We also made spell jars, and my friend Caitlin does a lot of herbology. Is that the word? She'll correct me if it's not. So she helped me create this one for abundance and prosperity. Beautiful little spell jar. And then this little spell jar is to go on to the witch's bells that we all made. And this was all included in the ticket. And when they came back and said, okay, November 1st, we've got a new event, they said, you can bring a friend. And I confirmed with them. I said, I only bought one ticket. And they said, no, we're giving you 2 tickets. So that's how Caitlin got to come with me. So this is a little spell jar. There's lots of cinnamon and things in there for protection. And it goes on the witches' bells that we all got to make. So that was a lot of fun. I just haven't tied this one on yet, so I'll do that later today. And I got the cutest little toy. Do you remember these? So I grew up in Toronto. If you're not from Toronto, it's Toronto. And I used to see the full-size ones in Niagara Falls on Clifton Hill. So if any of you are familiar with that, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. I've never seen them anywhere else, but I know they exist other places. And it actually speaks. Look at, he lights up, and we'll do a message.
Hear your fortune from Zoltar. Hard work pays off over time, but laziness, it pays off right now. Heed my advice, young one. Relax and enjoy yourself today. You deserve it.
So I played that for my husband, and then I was doing something. I said, you know what, I gotta go take a nap. And he said, oh, so you've been listening to Zoltar? I was like, yes, he told me to go take a nap. So I got that at the same event. There was vendors there. It was so much fun. We just had a great time. There were rituals. We blew out birthday candles on cakes. There was a bar. We had the most gorgeous mocktails. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So I'm telling you this because if ever you see this kind of thing in your community, jump in. If that's something that you think you might like to attend, and for heaven's sake, don't wait for a friend. If you want to take a friend, by all means, if you're on the same page and this is the kind of thing that you like, go together. But if you don't have that, I don't often have that. My friend Caitlin loves going to these things, so I always invite her. But I don't always have somebody who enjoys the same things I do. I just go by myself. And those rooms are usually quite warm and friendly. So make sure that you're not missing out on opportunities to connect and experience the things you enjoy and meet new people. You might make a new best friend going by yourself. So that's my message for you. Because it is love's, a love reading. That's why I wanted to share that and say, maybe some self-love for you would be being brave and going to something by yourself, if that's what you want to do and you don't have someone to go with. And what I often do when I'm not, when I don't have somebody to attend something with, is I will just send a message to the host and say, I'm coming by myself. I'm feeling a little uncomfortable. So don't mind me if I kind of look for you the second I arrive and just kind of hang out with you a bit till I sort of get a bit comfortable in the room. And 100% of the time, the host will be, of course, I'll introduce you to everybody. We'll make sure you're having a great time, blah, blah, blah. So don't be shy about reaching out to the host of events and things like that to let them know that perhaps you're coming, but you're maybe feeling a little squirmy about it. And when I've hosted events, I always make sure I say, find me first and you hang out with me, and then I'll make sure that you've got some nice people to sit with. And I do that all the time. I'm the host, or I'm the greeter at the community dinner in my town. And that is sort of what I like to do as well, because you can always tell the person who's there for the first time because they look really uncomfortable and they're looking like, I don't know what's going on. And I'll just say, hey, is this your first time here? And if they're like, yeah, I'm like, well, welcome, and here's how it works. And, do you want to sit with someone that you can chat with and make some new friends? And we get them sitting with the right people for them. How about that? Not the right people in general, just the right people for them. So that is how I wanted to start, because I just thought it was really important to talk about going to loving spaces, loving yourself enough to go out and be brave and go to things alone if that's what you need to do, but then also sharing the love with your friends and making sure, we don't need to gatekeep anything here. Nothing at all. So if you see an event that you think you might like to go to and there's somebody, even if you don't know them that well, but you know they might be into it, send it to them. Invite them, say, hey, I thought maybe we could go together, and see what happens. Okay? That may be the path forward for you. Not that I don't have a relationship with my parents, but when I was young, my mother used to always say, go, you might meet someone. So your best friend might be sitting, waiting for you at the next fun, witchy event. So we're going to give the cards a good shuffle. Now we're actually really going to get into this reading. We're going to do 3 cards and we'll see what comes out. We'll see what messages. We're not going to read reversals this time. So if a card comes out reversed, we are going to put it upright. There we are. The Knight of Pentacles, the Ace of Swords, and the Queen of Cups. This is the Oak, Ash, and Thorn deck, and I will put the link in the description. This is the pocket size. There is a full-size deck as well. Whew. Our Knight of Pentacles, giddy up, but get your ducks in a row. You know, what just popped in here is that message of if you're looking to meet somebody, stop acting like you're single. And what I mean by that is if you sleep in the middle of the bed, you're sending a strong energetic message that there's no one else welcome. So if you want to send an energetic message that someone's welcome in your bed, pick a side. And then just sort of say, and this side is for the person I will love for the rest of my life, or whatever it is, whatever you want to call in. If you make your dinners for 1, start making your dinners for 2. You can always eat the leftovers tomorrow. But treat it as though you're cooking for 2. Like and be in that energy. When you're in the kitchen and you're chopping the vegetables and you're cooking the meat or whatever it is that you'd like to do, if you're vegan and you're, I don't know, boiling the lentils or something. I'm not a vegetarian, so I have no idea what vegetarians actually eat on a daily basis. But if that's you and you're making dinner for yourself, kind of be in the energy of like, I'm making dinner for this other person too, whether it's my man or my girl or whatever, like be in that energy of that. And it takes some imagination. Not everybody's great at that, but if you are, tap into it. Use that power. The imagination is what's required to create the thing. Nothing happens in the world without imagination first. So if you're wondering why you're not achieving great things, try to tap into your imagination. You have to imagine that you're with somebody. You have to imagine that you're wealthy. You have to imagine that you're beautiful, like whatever it is. You have to use that. And this is not new information. This is not a new technique. This is something I remember so I'm in my 50s. I remember when I was in grade 5, I believe, and I used the power of manifestation. I envisioned myself doing the thing that I was setting out to achieve. I was 11 years old, and I saw myself in my end goal. I saw myself doing the thing that I set out to do. And when I was giving a speech and I was practicing my speech. And every time I practiced my speech, I imagined not that I was giving that speech to my classroom, but that I was giving my speech to the whole district. And I got there. I gave that speech to the whole district. So, and that was the start of my spiritual journey, because I realized, it's not that hard to manifest things. It just requires some imagination. And imagination is also hand in hand with empathy. So this, the message here is to just get on with living the way you want to get on with. Like, just do it. You know, if you're saying to yourself, well, I'm not going to wear the sexy lingerie until I have a man in my life, or, you know, a woman, whatever. Like, most of my clients are women, let's be honest. So that's why I tend to speak to women. If you're a guy, let's do the same thing. When you're making dinner tonight, just be in the imagination that as you're cooking the dinner, your girl is on her way over to have dinner with you. Like, just imagine that and just be in that energy. And this is how we open the portals. This is how it all comes together. So this is a very strong message to start laying the groundwork, get your ducks in a row. If there are things like if you're saying, well, now, I can't find a man because, or a woman because I, have all this debt, start clearing up your debt. Work on that. Whatever it is that you need to clean up in your life in order to make room for somebody else, do that. If every night of the week is filled for you with all the things you do to fill your time because you're single and lonely and everything else, cut back on that. Start leaving a couple empty open nights. And a lot of people say to me, when I talk about this kind of thing, they'll say to me, well, if I meet someone, then I'll start opening up evenings and changing my plans. And it's like, yeah, but the message you're sending is your life is so full. That's the energy that you're putting out. That's the frequency. That's the vibration that you're putting out, is that your life is full and there's no room for anything else. So if you make room and be intentional, that you say, you know what, I'm not going to XYZ on Friday nights anymore because I'm leaving Friday nights open for date night. Now your date night might be with yourself for a little while. That's a possibility, but then use that time to work on yourself and do the things that you need to do to make room in your life for somebody else. So that's the strong message there, laying the groundwork. And get on with it. Like now is the time. Let me just look up the timing of this card. I would not be surprised to see that it's, okay, it doesn't have any timings connected to it. So that means right now or before you're ready. I bet you're not ready. Just start, just get on with it. Make a decision today. Make a decision today. Okay, so if that was for you, congratulations. Let me know in the comments and let me know what you're going to do. Let me know what your first move is going to be. And remember, this is a love and romance reading. This is not a business reading. This is not a life reading. This is not a gossip reading. And also, you know what? This can also work in, if you're already with somebody and married, you can start making some changes as well and make plans and build on your relationship as well. But get on with it. Now is the time. Our Ace of Swords. New stuff, new ideas, new concepts. This is such a great card, especially at this time of year. Cuffing season, we all want somebody for the holidays, right? Well, maybe some people don't, but I think most of us would like to have somebody to spend the holidays with. It doesn't necessarily need to be super duper romantic relationship. It could be your best friend. That's love too, right? Our platonic friendship love is probably the most powerful love we have, because that is the love that tends to see us through thick and thin, whereas a lot of romantic love dies the moment there's hardship. So this is, I feel like because this is a communication card, someone's getting a message from somebody. Someone has their eye on someone, and there's going to be a message. You're either going to send a message to somebody and that's going to be the start of something, or they're going to send a message to you and that's going to be the start of something. It could come in the form of a text, a DM, could be a comment on a post. It could be a phone call. It could be even that they bump into you walking down the street, in a cafe or something, but there's a new message coming and it's somebody has an eye on you and they want something to start. Aww. Ah. Wow. It could be the reverse. It could be you that has your eye on somebody and you want something to start with that person. Just do it. Say hi. It's a great start. Just say hi. Just be brave. Just ask them out. It wasn't that long ago. It was one generation ago when people would ask each other out, when men would ask women out, more specifically, but women would too. So don't be shy. If there's somebody that you have your eye on and you maybe have some feelings about them and some thoughts about them, then just ask them out. Just say, hey, you want to grab dinner sometime? You want to grab coffee sometime? And just, if you feel you need to test the waters a little bit and see what they say. If you're really brave, you could just be like, I would like to take you out on a date. How's Saturday night? And see what they say. And if they say, oh, I'm busy Saturday night, and don't offer anything else, then you might even be even braver and say, well, how about Friday night? And because, so if it was me and I actually wanted to go out with somebody who was asking me out long before, when I was single, if they said how's Saturday night, but I was busy on Saturday night, I would say that. I'd say, I'm so, like, I would love to, I'm busy on Saturday. I'm free on Friday, and see what they say. Cause they might be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll take you out on Friday. Right. So just that be brave message is coming in. Even if you have to tiptoe a little bit into it, but the goal here is to make the move, to no matter how subtle it might feel or look to you, the goal is to make the move. So ask that person, just say, hey, like, let's grab coffee, or do you want to go shopping, or whatever it is. Sometimes, what just came in is like, use another excuse. So it's be like, I have to run up to Costco. Do you want to come with me? You can use my card to get whatever you want, and then maybe we could grab dinner. That could be a good intro to that kiss at midnight on New Year's Eve. There we go. And our Queen of Cups. Oh, I love this card. I'm just looking up our timing here. No timing. Interesting that there's no timing at all for any of these cards. This is wild. I don't think I've ever pulled a reading ever that didn't have at least one card with some timings connected to it. This is our sweet, sweet, sweet queen. She's patient. She's loving. She's kind. She leads with her heart. She is the emotional leader of the people around her, whether it's her family, her children, her friends, her coworkers. She's the one who brings that heart-centered leadership to the table. And if this is you, well done. Well done, my friend. I love the acorn imagery here. Let's see there. Can you see it there? There we go. The acorn imagery, because, it's that the tiny little acorn grows into the mighty oak. And it's amazing what a little bit of love can do in your life and with the people around you. And love doesn't necessarily look like smoochy woo and all the things. Love can look like patience, understanding, compassion, empathy. There's all kinds of things that fall under the umbrella of love. And, sometimes not saying what we're thinking is the greatest act of love, that's usually mine. That is usually mine. And, this is somebody who is leading with love. And this is kindness. So the message here is to lead with love. This is the message of kindness. And, there's always that thing, choose kindness. We always have every choice in the world in front of us. When somebody's being a jerk, we can fight back. Or we can ask, are you okay? A lot of times when people are in a tizzy and they're ranting and they're yelling and they're snapping at things they wouldn't normally snap at, it's because they're not okay. So that's a great one. I've seen that a lot where, there's somebody, losing their temper or losing their mind in the grocery store. And I'll just stop and say, just very quietly, are you okay? And usually they calm down and say, no, I'm not. And it's like, okay, are you actually upset about the ketchup being out of stock? Or is there something more? And they're like, the ketchup being out of stock was the final straw. So see how we led with compassion? There was no yelling. There was no arguing. There was no, you can't speak to me like that. Like none of that stuff. I hate that. You can speak to me however you want. I'm not easily offended in that department. I don't like when people say, I don't like your tone. It's like, well, I don't like your face. So yeah, just, if people need to yell to feel that they're being heard, then let them yell. They're not yelling at you. They're just yelling at the world. They're yelling at the sky. But definitely our Queen of Cups is all about love, 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 love. And this card, I believe, is for somebody who is content with where they're at. This could be somebody who's married. This could be someone who's single, but with their children, like there's like somebody, or they just have a beautiful life full of friends, this card is for you, and that is to just go deeper into love and lead with love, and don't forget to love yourself first, and make sure that you're giving yourself the love that you would give somebody else. That could be in the form of food, nourishing your body. That could be some downtime, some quiet time. That could be taking yourself out on a little date. One of my favorite things to do is to toddle downtown with my book and go to the cafe and just get a quiet coffee and sit in the corner and read my book and just, that was nice. You know, like just a little treat for myself to get out of the house and be out in the world and do something I really enjoy, which is drinking a cup of coffee and reading a book. You know, if I'm not reading tarot, I'm probably reading a book. So that is a great message. Don't forget to give yourself a lot of love, especially at this time of year. Go easy on yourself. Be patient with yourself and be patient with other people, and that energy will help other people be patient too. That is you know, the frequency you're putting out is of patience. Other people will calm down too. So there we have it. Our cuffing season reading. Let's have a look at what the shadow card is. The Magician. I love this card. The beautiful thing about the Magician is that this is the person who has it all. And, you know, they've got the money, they've got the success, they've got everything they need, they're emotionally secure, they're smart, like all the things. And that's every single one of us. We're all capable of being the magician. We're all capable of being it all and having it all. So don't be afraid of that. Don't be afraid of that at all. And like I said in another reading, it's all mindset. That's all you got to do. Sometimes we just have to get our head out of our backside. So I'm wishing you all the best for cuffing season and love season and the holiday season. We will be doing this again in December. A little, you know, a little last little check-in on love right before Christmas. Yeah, let me know what landed for you. Leave me a comment to let me know you were here. Don't forget to click the subscribe button, click the bells, click the hearts, click it all, and check out my other videos. All my links and my email are in the description, so you'll be able to find them easily. If you're a new friend, thank you for joining us. Welcome. I can't wait to get to know you. And if you're an old friend, thanks for visiting again. I so appreciate you, every single one of you. And we will be back soon with another reading. Have a magical day.